If you are tired of having small calves and you tried everything to grow them but nothing seems to work, you're in the right place because I'll tell you everything you need to know to finally grow your calves and walk around confidently in shorts. Skip this video and don't worry, your calves will stay tiny and you can always use genetics as an excuse when people start making fun of you. The first thing you have to understand before growing your calves is anatomy. Your calves are made up of two muscles, gastrocnemius and soleus, and they perform plantar flexion, plus a separate muscle on the front of your shin called tibialis anterior, which does the opposite motion called dorsiflexion and is often neglected entirely. And of the two calf muscles, gastrocnemius is the one that drives visible calf shape. It's the most visually dominant and responds far more to training than soleus. And exercises you can perform are pretty straightforward. Any type of calf raise where your leg is straight is enough for your gastrocnemius and soleus. For years, people believed that seated calf raises were mandatory to grow your soleus, because standing calf raises supposedly aren't good enough for that. Turns out that's not true at all, because research shows similar muscle growth to your soleus when you do standing calf raises versus seated, and much better growth of your gastrocnemius when you do standing calf raises. So the obvious solution is to stop doing seated calf raises where your knee is bent and only do straight leg calf raises. If you have a calf raise machine, use that, and if not, any leg press will do. The only thing that matters is that your heel can go through that big stretch. I would only avoid Smith machine unless you have some platform to put your feet on, and for your tibialis, you can use a machine if you have it available in your gym, and if not, you can use kettlebells or cables. Obviously, the goal is to progressively overload these exercises over time, so lift more weight or reps over time. I recommend doing the double progression model, where you only add weight when you can complete the upper number of reps in all your sets. You probably already knew what exercises you should do for your calves, but more important thing is how you do them. You've heard how important full range of motion is, but when you train your calves, you need to forget about it. Your calves are one of the rare muscles that respond better to partials than full range of motion, and this study proved it. They had 42 women split into 3 groups, which performed calf raises in 3 different range of motions, and by far the group that saw the most growth was the one who did long length partial reps. What I do and what I recommend you do is always spend 3 seconds in the stretch and come up only halfway. This way, you're really making use of that weight you're using, and you maybe won't be able to lift the weight you used to, but if you want to maximize growth, you need to be doing your calf raises like this. Another cool thing you probably didn't know is that foot positioning matters. For a long time, I used to believe that it was complete BS, and for some exercises like leg extensions, it is complete BS, but this study actually proved that it makes sense to rotate your feet when you do calf raises, because by rotating your feet, you can bias different parts of your gastrocnemius. Rotating your feet out will bias your medial head and make your calves appear bigger from the front, and pointing your feet in will make your calves look bigger from the back. So you can start alternating these 2 variations to get the most bang for your buck. I briefly mentioned it, but tibialis anterior, the front part of your calf, probably the muscle you never heard of until now. It's not very popular and almost nobody trains it, but if you're serious about growing your calves, you can't neglect it. Underdeveloped tibialis is one of the main causes for most ankle issues and even overuse injuries, and because it's never trained, it means you can easily add 1 to 2 centimeters to your calves just by training this muscle a few times a week. And probably the most important thing I didn't mention so far is volume. How many sets per week is ideal for calves? How many sets you should do in a single session depends on how frequently you train your calves. Training volume and frequency are always inversely proportional, so if training frequency is higher, volume per session should be lower and vice versa. And based on what I read, because your calves are a small muscle group in general, this study found that 12 sets will let you more grow than 9 or 6 sets per week. The truth is that I can't tell you the exact number of sets you should be doing per week. You have to experiment and find what works best for you, but generally speaking, more seems to be better. And of course, you need to eat enough protein, at least 1.6 grams per kilogram of body weight or 0.6 grams per pound of body weight. And if calves are a really big weak point on your physique, you can even start your workouts by training them first. This will make a big difference over time. And if you're wondering what rep range is the best, it literally doesn't matter. You can grow your calves in any rep range as long as you take sets close to failure. Rest between sets is also up to you, but I usually rest 1 or 2 minutes between sets when I train calves specifically. I covered everything you need to know to grow your calves, so now you have no excuse to have small calves. And if you wonder how to get visible abs, watch this video next.